a.m. It is 10 a.m. from here, and I'm so excited to have you all on the call. My name is Mercy Kingsley. I am the college admin. So, on behalf of the management and Transformation College of Business and Technology at large, I am delighted to welcome you to our summer diploma program. We are excited to have you join us as we begin this rewarding journey of learning, growth, and professional development. So, this program has been carefully designed to equip you with practical knowledge and valuable skills that will help you advance academically and professionally. We encourage you to participate actively in class, engage with your facilitators, and make the most of every learning opportunity. So, to ensure smooth communication through this program, a WhatsApp group has been created for all participants. Important announcements, class schedules, learning materials, and other relevant information will be shared in the WhatsApp group. So, we encourage everyone to join and stay active so you don't miss any updates. For those who are yet to complete their registration fee, like we earlier said, please note that the registration fee is 10,000 naira only. Once your payment has been made, kindly forward your proof of payment to the email address provided for verification and confirmation of your enrollment. So, we appreciate your decision to be part of this program, and we look forward to supporting you throughout your learning journey. We are confident that this experience will be both impactful and rewarding. Once again, welcome to the Summer Diploma program. We wish you a successful and enjoyable stay experience right here. So right now, I'm going to be handing over to my manager to take it up from here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mercy. Good morning, everyone. My name is Boma Al Oyenabo, and I'm the General Manager of Transformation College, and it's quite an honor and a privilege to welcome everybody here today. Today is an amazing day, it's a special day. It is the launch of our fourth cohort and our 2026 Summer Diploma Program, and it promises to be yet another amazing program where we would impact lots of lives and change lots of careers. So without further ado, I would like to tell you a little bit about Transformation College. The Transformation College of Business and Technology is an ISO 9001 and ISO 21001 certified college that offers diploma and certificate programs to SSE graduates, NYSC members, university graduates, and as well as professionals in other fields of study who wish to broaden their skill sets and knowledge within Nigeria and beyond. And we've even had students from all over the world, to be honest. We've had students from Israel, we've had students from Morocco, we've had students from the US, from Canada. Transformation College, our tentacles are spreading across the world, and we are changing lives across Africa and beyond. Our courses are sure to provide our students with practical knowledge and expertise in their chosen careers. And anyone who has attended any of our programs can attest to the fact that, yes, you will see changes in your career and your life. Our values are knowledge, excellence, and skills, and that is evident in every program that we put across to our students. And these are our core programs for the moment. Please hold on while I move to the next slide. Yeah, our courses include our Diploma in Entrepreneurship and Business Management, our Diploma in Information Systems, our AI Business Analyst Program, and our AI Automation Specialist Program. And now, like Mercy said, this particular program, this fourth cohort, promises to be very amazing. And now we're not just going to be having classes on Zoom. We have a YouTube channel that is quite active. And at the end of each class, all our programs will be, all the recordings of the classes will be shared on our YouTube channel. Please give me a moment while I show you our YouTube channel. The link to the channel will be shared later in the chat box. So this is Transformations College YouTube channel. Every single one of our classes from this summer program will be uploaded to this channel. So even if for some reason you miss a class, which we don't encourage you to do, you'll be able to come to our YouTube channel, follow up with the class that you missed and still catch up. That is what Transformation College does for you. We are just that kind of college, the college of the future. So at this juncture, without further ado, it gives me great honor and great honor to introduce our founder, Dr. Orlando Odejide. Sir, are you there, sir?
I am here. I hope everybody can hear me.
Thank you
I hope
very
you
much.
can hear me. Boma, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir.
Brilliant. All right. So, once again, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for being here. Messi, thank you. And also, Boma, thank you. So, first is I'm excited and I'm delighted to be here. As the team has mentioned, this is the fourth time we're doing this. We did it in the year 2023. We did it in 24. We did it last year, and this is the summer program for the year 2026. So, thank you very much for being here. So, before I forget, everybody, please help me say a big thank you in the chat room to the team that has put this together. They're just six of them at the core that have put this together. So, please, a massive, massive, massive round of applause for all of them. Please help me thank Edith, Boma, Mercy, Damola, Emmanuel, and Titi. I don't know if I'm forgetting somebody else. They are the core team members that have put this together. They spend a lot of their time just ensuring that we can keep organizing these free courses. Transformation College is the corporate social responsibility initiative of both Training Heights and A4S, profit making companies. Or Transformation College is pretty much how we use in giving back to the society at large. So once again, Edith, Boma, Mercy, Emmanuel, Damola, and Titi, the entire team that puts this together. Please help me say a big thank you to them. They've done a lot of sweating, they've done a lot of work to ensure that this particular session will hold. And I'm glad that we're all here today. I think the next thing is all of you also deserve a big congratulations to yourselves, right? So say well done to yourselves, everybody. Say well done to yourselves that you're here, that you've taken the time out to be here. I promise you, this is going to be one of the best decisions that you will make in your lifetime. And if it's not, it will definitely be the best decision that you have made this year, 2026. Indeed, this is an excellent decision. In 12 weeks from now, or in 13 weeks, Boma, can you put the flyer that has got the itinerary for the entire 13 weeks so that we can look at our graduation date ahead of time? Can you put it up so that we can look at our graduation date? I can tell you by the time we're graduating from this course, our graduation is going to be on the 5th of September. I promise you that you will thank yourself. You will say to yourself that this is an excellent decision that you've made. And if you look at it, I remember somebody was asking me during this week. The person said to me, "Duboma, can you put it to full screen?" The person said to me that which of these models do I pick? I said, you don't have the latitude to pick a model. You're going to cover everything that is on my screen. You're not going to pick a model. You're not picking one model versus another model. You're going to do everything that is on my screen, every single thing here. So every Saturday, this is how it's going to go. I know we have a decent representation in Ghana. So for the team that is seated, well, for the participants and the team that is seated in Ghana, you're going to start at 8:30 a.m. On next week Saturday, which will be 9:30 a.m. in Nigeria. So please be prepared for it. Be prepared appropriately. So this is what our program looks like. This is what we're going to be doing over the next 12 weeks, starting today, and we're going to do it all the way, and hopefully will by the 5th of September you will be graduating. So I'm going to encourage all of you. Today is just an overview, so you can see that today we're just going to be doing an overview. We have this thing called, we have this section of what we do which is called the Personal Excellence Program. For some people, that is their favorite program, right? Amongst everything that we do that we do here. Some people really like it because that particular program covers all the topics that you can see in there. So in that particular program, you will cover things like personal vision and goal setting, how you and I become better ethical people, or the concept of etiquette and decorum, the concept of resilience, interpersonal relationships and skills, personal branding, speaking and elocution, communication skills, both from the presenting and the writing side of things. And then, of course, social intelligence and negotiation leadership. And we're also going to be covering two models of artificial intelligence under that particular work stream. So some people, that's their favorite. As I said, this is the fourth time that we're doing this. For some people, it's the ISO standards. So, I mean, when Mercy started this particular session today, some people have expressed that, oh, it's the ISO standards that they're really interested in. Some of them want to become ISO auditors. Some of people want to become ISO implementers. So we're going to look at about 10 different ISO standards. We're going to look at 10 different ISO standards. 9001, the one for quality, the one for risk, the one for IT service management, the one for information security, health and safety, environment, business continuity, customer service, cybersecurity, and even the concept of privacy. So we're going to be looking at 10 different standards. And also under this particular section of this, we also look at two other AI modules in there. So you can see that we've embedded about 4 different AI modules, and there's the specific exams that you're going to do for all these courses. There's specific exams that everybody is going to be doing relative to everything that is here. It's a very intensive course. It's not the kind of course that you would just attend. You have assignments to submit. If you don't complete it, you're not going to be able to graduate with us. And you're not going to be doing yourself a favor. It's good for you to know the content. It's good for you to acquire the knowledge. It's excellent for you to even build on the skills, but it's also very useful for you to get the certificate because this is an accredited training class. So we haven't just pulled this class from under my bed or something. It's an accredited course. We as an organization, we're accredited to ISO 9001 and another ISO standard, which is for educational management, educational institutions. It's called the Educational Management System. So we are accredited. So this is not Orlando and Sons International School. This is a globally accredited organization. The third part of this whole thing is business analysis. And if you go online, maybe Boma, you can go online. For a lot of people who want to relocate, they want to travel abroad. Maybe you can go to start to check all the international work sites. So you will see places like, what's that place called now? You will see indeed.ca. Everybody, maybe you should go and look at that. You see indeed.ca. You look at all the recruitment websites in the United Kingdom and the ones for Canada and the ones in the United States and all around the world. Everybody is always looking for somebody who has some kind of ISO skill. The entire world is looking for people with business analysis skills. I remember a long time ago, I worked with one of my team members. I helped him to get a job in Qatar, whereby we got the job through Golf Talent. So everybody, if you can check golftalent.com, business analysis is key. Business analysis is important. So in your lifetime, you will need business analysis. I promise you that. In your lifetime, you will definitely need business analysis skills as a person. And our business analysis content is tied to the British Computing Society business analysis textbook in itself. So Boma, you can put a link to that book in the chat room. You can even put the picture of the book, the business analysis book. So once again, the business analysis curriculum that we use, I think we didn't just pull it from under the bed. The ISO standards are international. The business analysis content that we are using from beginning to the end, and there's going to be a lot of artificial intelligence built into the business analysis work stream. You can get an international job remotely, even while seated in Nigeria, if you really take this business analysis course very seriously. They're going to share the material with you. So, Boma, you can share the link to the material. They're going to share, and we're going to go through many tools as it is. So, it's important that you really take this business analysis model. It is, I mean, so I don't know whether to say I'm biased, but I really do think that business analysis is key. Not necessarily because you want to get a job as a business analyst. That's a different thing. Getting a job as a business analyst is a different thing from the fact that you, as a person, you must have business analysis skills. And I'm telling you, Boma, maybe that's one of the things we need to do. We need to start to post the international remote jobs. So I'm not even talking about the jobs you can get when you relocate. No, I'm talking about the jobs you can get while you're seated in Nigeria, or you're seated in Ghana, or you're seated in Nairobi, because I know that some people from Kenya are here. So you can get international jobs if you learn everything that we're giving to you on this course. You can get a $40 per hour, $50 per hour, $60 per hour. It depends on the depth that you have. So if I had to pick one area, I think everybody should look at this business analysis. If you must you need to help yourself, help your career, help your cousins, help everybody around you, especially because of this business analysis. Let me not say too much as it is, but I definitely think that's one area everybody should look into. The material is, it is international. It's global content that we are using. So if getting a job in the United Kingdom is definitely very possible with this with business analysis. If you don't mind, if you can do an exercise for me, everybody, Boma, maybe we should do that. Let me stop this for a second, and please, Boma, open the browser very quickly. Very quickly, open the browser, take the screen off, open the browser. Let us look at something together. So, everybody, I want you to type job serve. Let me put it in the chat room. Jobserve.co.uk. Boma, put it up very quickly. Job serve. Let's look at something. I just want to demonstrate a particular point. Yeah, job serve. Yeah, serve. Serve, yes. Job serve, exactly. Put the .co.uk, right? Very quickly. Okay. Open another browser, another tab. Open another tab and type Indeed. Yes, .ca. Yeah. Right. So I'm putting the ones that I'm very familiar with and that I've used in the past and things like that. Okay, good. But now scroll to the end of this page. Everybody, I hope you're seeing this. Scroll to the very end. I want to be sure exactly. I want to be sure everybody that the bottom is pointing to United Kingdom. Okay, good. Now go back up, right? Go back up, Boma. Right? Go back up. Keep going. Keep going. Go back up to the very top of the page. Good. I want, under the keywords, I want you to type business analysis there. Good. Good. And I want you to change the job type. Change the job type to contract. Contract. Yes, to contract. Good. And let's just do I want you to change the within 50 miles to something more than that. You can put maybe 100 miles or something along those lines. Yeah, good. And then change posted 7 days. I want you to change that to something longer than that. So let's say, oh, it doesn't allow that any longer. Okay, that's fine. Leave it to 7 days. Leave it to 7 days. Leave it to 7 days. Brilliant. Now let's do a search. Let's do a search very quickly. Okay. Once again, if you, all of us need to have business analysis skills. Did you hear what I said? All of us compulsorily must have business analysis skills. So can you start to see business analysis? Can you start to see business analyst? Can you see business analyst? 40 to 45K, 350 pounds to 375 pounds per day. It all depends on your knowledge and your experience. Can you see a business analyst role that says between 550 to 600 pounds per day? Or you need experience. You're not going to get that amount of money without adequate experience. It's not going to happen. You're going to need some serious experience if you're looking to get that kind of money. And I'm telling you that what we teach here is going to allow you to be able to get this kind of job. But it's going to be 100% dependent on you. How much have you learned? How deep have you gone? Are you practicing with all the tools that we've given to you and things like that? So I definitely think a lot of us, we should go ahead and get jobs as business analysts. But the ones that cannot get jobs as business analysts, we all need to have business analysis skills. All of us need to have business analysis skills. Now, Boma, go back on the browser. Just go back, click on the back button, and then let's change it to project management. From business analysis, let us change it to project management. Because that's another area, especially for the people that are above, let me say, for everybody that is on this call, that yes, so Boma, let's do another search just based on that, or put project manager. Yeah, just leave it like that. It's fine. For everybody that is above 30 that is on this call, I definitely think you should look at how you can become a project manager. We say to people that if you're going to do this course, it's for people between ages 16 and 60. That's what we tell people. That if you're going to do this, it is applicable to ages 16 and 60. Okay? So I think everybody should become a project manager, especially people that have work experience, especially people that are in their 40s, especially people that are in their 50s. I think you can still become a great project manager. I think you can still get remote roles and remote jobs being a project manager, but you really have to learn these things. You have to know them, you have to learn them, you have to practice them, because people are not looking for project managers that have only passed an exam. They're looking for project managers that have the right skills and the capabilities. So this is not just about passing an exam. This is about having the right skills and capabilities. Okay, good. So let us do something. Let's do something else, right? Let's go to Indeed very quickly. Let's go to Indeed. Let's go to Indeed, everybody. Good. So once again, let's do that. This for the people that are interested in anything that is Canadian of any sort, right? Let's go to Indeed and see. So once again, business analyst. Yeah. So just type business analyst here. Okay. No, just do a search. Yeah, put Ontario or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Good. So once again, you can't go wrong either being practicing and getting ready to be a business analyst, right? Or building business analysis skills and capabilities inside of yourself. You can't go wrong with this. The same thing with project management. So, Boma, you can go back up, put manager there. The world is always looking for excellent business analysts and excellent project managers. This this human earth is always looking for those two things. It doesn't matter, yes. And it will never go scroll down. These two areas, 25 years ago, thereabout, when I started my career, these two areas, they were hot 25 years ago. This is about 25 years later. These are still big areas. You cannot go wrong practicing to be a business analyst or a project manager. You cannot go wrong. If you equip yourself with the right skills for business analysis and project management, even at age 60, somebody is still going to be happy to hire you for those things. The challenge is, will you build the skills? Will you build the capabilities? Because it's more than just going through the course content. The latest version of, there's an organization called PMI. The latest version of their methodology is called PMBOK, right? Version 8. The organization is called PMI. The exam that they provide around the world is something called PMP, and I'm certain a lot of people have heard of it, right? So that training and the methodology is what we are going to be teaching. The training and the methodology is what we're going to be teaching. But I'll go back to this flyer that has the four courses. So we're going to be covering the brand new version of the PMBOK. We're going to cover it in detail. So if you go back to that screen, what I want everybody in the chat room, which is going to be, if you had to pick one column here, because of course you can't do without the first one too. Because if you have all the right skills, but you have poor attitude, you've got poor ethics, poor etiquette, you're not resilient, then all the other things are also useless if you don't build on your communication skills and your leadership skills. So that column number one, it's important. It's essential. You cannot do without it as a person. Column number two is also very important. Organizations globally are adopting ISO standards. Globally, they are. 3 is important, 4 is important. So everybody, we're going to do a quick exercise in 3 minutes. I want you to go into the chat room. If you could pick only one of these columns that you really want to be the number one in, you want to win the prize for each column, for one column. Sorry, you want to win the prize for one column. Everybody, go to the chat room. Which is going to be your column? Quickly, we want to see. So all I just want you to write is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Quickly, everybody in the chat room. Which is going to be, if you were going to win in only one column, which is going to be your number one? Your favorite column, the one you're going to focus on the most as a person. For you, this is not chorus answer. This is just for you. So it's either column 1, column 2, column 3, or column 4. Quickly, everybody, tell me which one is going to be yours? Which one are you going to take most seriously in here? Tell me quickly. Everybody, I want to go to the chat room. Boma, let us see, and Mercy and Damola, let's see who's going to win. Some people have picked. How do we tabulate this now? Oluwafemi says 2. Rick says 3. Rick, you're here again. Rick has done this before. Rick is one of our big supporters. So Rick, well done. Epiphany says 4. Madam Nika says 3. Christopher says 2. Daniel 1. Sally, you didn't answer. I said just give me 1, 2, 3, or 4. But I assume, Sally, you mean 4 there. Austin says 1. John says 3. Femi Ojo says 1. Alba Ghana Yusuf says 3. Joseph says so. Claude, you're not serious. I gave you only one opportunity. Claude picked 2. Right. So, anyways, the idea. So different people have picked different things. Damala has picked one himself. Ayomiko has picked one. Stanley has picked three. All right. Uh, if you ask me, right, oh, I have one of my big bosses here. Is there, Mr. Itama? Thank you very much for being here. Sultan Golu is also here. Mr. Itama is one of my big bosses as a director in a government organization. So thank you very much for being here. Okay, so different people have picked different things as it is, but one thing I can tell you is that all of them are extremely useful, especially for young people. If you're just building your career right now, if you're still at the very beginning of your career, do yourself a big favor and ensure that you really take this summer school, you take it seriously. And once again, don't keep this to yourself. Let your friends know, let your enemies know, let your brothers know. Today is just introduction. The actual class starts next week, Saturday. The actual classes, they start next week, Saturday. So once again, let your friends know, let your cousins know, let your brothers know, even let your enemies know, right? This is going to be the best thing you can do for yourself this year. You go away from here building the right personal skills, very personal skills. You're going to learn that you shouldn't be picking your nose. You're even going to learn about diction, and there's still a lot of opportunity to register. They'll put the registration link in the chat room. You're going to learn not to pick your nose. You're going to learn diction. You're going to learn elocution. You're going to learn what is acceptable in the society. You're going to learn how to even be a better presenter than I am. You're going to learn leadership skills. And this year, Boma, we're going to give gifts. We're going to have categories for awards this year. So we're going to have award categories this year. So we're going to come up with about 5 categories. Definitely, we're going to pick our best AI student. That would be one. We're going to pick, yeah, maybe that's what we're going to do, Boma. The best student across some 3, 4, or 5 categories as it is. So once again, this is a good ride. Let your children know. So one of my friends saw me earlier this morning. And said, "Oh, what about my daughter is not going to finish in secondary school till end of June or something." I said, "It's still fine. Your daughter would have missed effectively 3 classes, and the classes are all recorded. All she's going to need to do is to ensure that she does all the assignments and watches all the videos that are all going to be on YouTube." And she'll be fine as it is, and then she'll still be able to complete everything. It just means that she would have to double her hustle, if there's a better way for me to put it. She'll have to double her hustle, but she'll still be able to do all the assignments, do all the exercises, and get all that she needs to get from it. So once again, a big thank you to the Transformation College team, led by Edith and Boma and Mercy, and the Emmanuel and Damola and Titi. And then, of course, a big thank you to all of you for coming here. Some of you are my friends, some of you are my family members, some of you are my employees that are on the call, and some of you are even my colleagues at work. So thank you for being here. Tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell your enemies. And I'm certain that this will be one of the best things you would have done for yourself this year. So we have, I'm going to come back to talk about the ISO standards. My colleague Edith, that is the program director in Transformation College, will take you very quickly through an overview of the personal development empowerment program, and then we'll also go through all the other modules. I will be back to talk about ISO standards today. So once again, thank you very much. God bless you all. Appreciate you. A round of applause for yourselves for listening. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Lando, for that very powerful introduction of the program itself. I think you've done justice to it all. But of course, it's a great pleasure to be on this call this morning. And I want to thank everyone for being here. I was looking at or paying attention to the chat room earlier, and I was reading through the reasons why you all signed up for this program. And I was actually engaging your comments. And I want to promise you all that whatever is your purpose or reason for it all, only if you are resilient enough, if you're resilient enough to get through to the end of the program. We often experience that some people will start the program, with so much energy, enthusiasm, and then midway down the program, they fizzle out, they stop attending classes, they end up completely not pushing through to the end. And then they show up on the graduation day for graduation. I want to encourage everyone, okay, if you want to get great value from this program, as you have started with so much energy today, please push it through to the end. And then you will be able to gain value and achieve your desires, or gain achieve your desires rather. Okay, so it's been mentioned already by Boma, by Dr. Lando, what we have lined up for you all throughout this program. And I want to encourage everyone, okay, as you have seen it on the screen, this is full pack, and these are very expensive courses. If you would go to learn about the ISO standards from any other school or college or platform, you know how much it would cost for you to go through any of these programs. Business analysis is a whole lot. Project management is a whole lot, but it is completely 100% free on this program. All you need to do is to pay your registration fee, or call it commitment fee, so that it will push you to get through to the end of the program. Because sometimes if you get things on a platter of gold, you may not really value it, right? So just a commitment fee of 10,000 Naira, as the case may be, and you see what we have lined up for you for this program throughout the duration. So this is not a joke. It is something that we've been doing, and it is dear to our heart. And every single year, we up the game. So this year, we're putting it together with the AI. And I see some of you were mentioning how you want to learn, prompt engineering and all that. Just get ready for us. So now I'll be speaking mostly on the personal excellence program, right? This is an area that is very dear to our hearts. Now, I would share a few stories, right? Maybe about two, right? Sometime, I think 2 years ago, I had scheduled an interview. I scheduled an interview with an applicant. It was a virtual interview, right? And when he came on the call, it was a male. So this is just a real life experience, right? So it is not targeted at the males, okay? Because this is funny, but it is serious. So he came on the call for an interview, a job interview. And guess what? He was putting on a sleeveless shirt, a sleeveless. The chest was bare, you could tell that he's just relaxing and chilling at home. And since it's a virtual interview, why put in the effort, right? But in his mind, he could be doing the right thing, but is it actually right? Is it the right etiquette? Is it ethical to come on an interview, be it virtual or physical, dressed like that? There was no effort to even look clean and sharp and all that. Now, this is what some HR experience, right? Whether virtual, especially on virtual interviews. And then what about physical interviews, right? We've experienced in our organization, some job applicants show up and, okay, so you have a question like, I believe you've gone through our website. What can you tell about our organization? What were you able to find? And then you hear comments like, okay, I checked you guys online and I saw that you guys do ABC. Now, it is it is this person's level of understanding or education or exposure, right? But it is wrong. So this is just one aspect, talking about the etiquette, talking about ethics. This is one aspect that we would look into. And of course, goal setting is very key, interpersonal relationship, personal branding. And as you see it on the screen, one after the other, on the day of these classes, we will take it bit by bit to help you, groom you to become an exceptional individual. Whether you're working from home or you're working on site or you're meeting people, the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you comport yourself, even at the dining table outside, you have a dinner with the boss or you have a meeting with the CEO of an organization. How do you comport yourself, right? How do you push through life difficulties? Would you just give up, or would you, push through with resilience and be positively focused and all that? How do you communicate? How do you speak excellently? And people would have to listen to you to say, oh, okay, you have something to offer. A whole lot. This is a whole lot that we have packed up together during for the personal excellence program, all designed to help you become an excellent individual. Okay, talking about how you can gain self-mastery, character development, relationship management, personal influence, and leadership development or leadership skills. These are all categorized into, these are the different categories that the different topics are under, and that would help us to really touch on these areas that are crucial. And at the end of the day, that purpose, character, great relationship skills, great communication skills, great leadership skills helps you to actually lead a successful life as an individual. So this structure is particularly powerful because it shows that the personal excellence program is not just a collection of unrelated topics. We carefully selected them. Okay, and it is a developmental pathway rather, that moves an individual from just self-discovery to self-mastery, then to influence, and to finally leadership. And I'm going to show about 2 videos just to, let you see a few things and you could relate. Doctor has mentioned, oh, not to pick your nose, not to do this and do that. So we would just watch a few, about 2 clips, so you get to relate and ask yourself, oh, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? So you get to answer that question yourself. So let me quickly pull up the video. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay, share sound. Okay. All right. Boma, please let me know if the audio is okay, if you can see from your end. Okay, let me know. another video from a different perspective.
Monster Math presents multiplication.
All right. So this is about dressing, how well you dress. And these are areas that we will be looking at. Okay. All right. Let me move it a bit.
Essentials. Big emphasis on these two words. Build a wardrobe of good basics.
Can someone confirm you can see my screen? Mercy, Boma, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, good. So talking about dressing,
Basics that fit you perfectly. You should practically be able to open your closet and get dressed in the dark and still come out looking decent, which is actually pretty realistic if you focus on building a capsule collection of versatile wardrobe staples that you can easily mix and match. And don't skimp on the quality, because investing in high quality clothing will not just make you look better, it will also last longer, which is good for your wallet in the long run. Look for clothes made from natural fibers such as cotton, wool, silk, and leather. I used to always want to buy the cheapest stuff possible, but I've learned that sometimes you do actually get what you pay for, and if you can afford it, it's definitely worth spending a little bit more for higher quality. Number 4. Dress for the occasion. Learn to understand the dress code, even if it's unspoken, or you'll stick out like a sore thumb. You don't want to be the guy dressed in a 3-piece suit at a weekend barbecue, or vice versa, the guy dressed in cargo shorts and a polo at the office.
did you hear that? So at the office, are you the type that, lets your shirt fly on Monday morning? And if you're going for just maybe an evening barbecue, sit out, and you're putting on a 3-piece suit, are you that guy? Okay. So, and you're going to the office, and your makeup is so shouty that it is the type that would even scare your boss. Okay. So these are areas that would look at, and I want to encourage every single one of us. And I promise you, it is going to be interesting because there will be live examples. And, we also encourage you to put your experiences in the chat room, or you unmute and speak based on, depending on what the trainer of the day would want you to do. Unmute and share your experience, or tell us in the chat room and all that. Right? So please, we want to encourage everyone. Make sure you participate. Make sure you get through to the end of the training. And we promise you that at the end of the training, you would have great value for your time. You would be happy that you stayed to the end. Okay. So, and of course, when we have the assessments, which will be coming at the end of each session, we encourage you to all take your assessments seriously so you can graduate with the rest. Okay. All right. So at this point, we'll be handing over to our project management professional, who would be speaking on the about the project management course itself. And this is no other person but the general manager of PSC, and that is Shola Abelusi. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. And at this point, I would like to bring up Mrs. Shola Abelusi. Thank you very much for joining us. The floor is yours now.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. I hope I can share with.
Yes, you can share your screen.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, are you having a challenge from your end? we could share from our end, please let us know if you're having a challenge. Shola, are you there? I can't hear you. In case you're speaking, I can't hear you. Can someone else hear her? Goma Mercy, can you hear her?
I can't hear her.
Okay, Shola, in case you are hearing us, we can't hear you. Okay. All right. We'll come back to you, Shola. We'll come back to you. Mr. Toby, if you're on the call, please do unmute and speak. Let's get to know that you are with us. Are you on the call, please? Hello. Okay.
It is. Can you see my screen though?
Oh, okay. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
That should be okay now. I'm surprised. Okay. How about now?
Aha, I can see your screen now.
All right. Thank you. Let me cut this to. All right. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session. Welcome to this learning series, and also to this session introducing product management. So apparently, as earlier said by speakers before me, this training has been going on for about this is like the fourth quarter, and it's been an interesting learning time for everyone that's participated or has been involved. Today, I would just like to give a brief introduction, just like others. I would like to give a brief introduction to what we'll be experiencing during what we'll be learning during the project management class. Right, so this project management, as far as the concerned, so just come ready to learn the concepts around what project management is, some of the tools that you can use, some of the experiences that you need. We'll be going through different case studies on how to probably start a project and manage the project to a successful end. And if I might ask the question, which I would like everyone to drop for me on the platform, what project are you currently learning? As in, what project are you currently working on? Is there anything that you're working on currently that you like to share with the team, right? Anyone? Please just drop it in the chat room. What would you say is a project that you're currently working on and you would like to tell us what you understand by a project itself? So I said what project. People might wonder, some people might keep wondering, what exactly is she talking about when she said what project? We are just about to learn about projects. But let me ask, what exactly do you think a project is? What is a project to you? I'm actually looking at the chat room now, trying to get responses, see the responses from everybody. What projects? What do you understand by a project? So for those that understand your example or your understanding of the project, can you give an example of what a project is? Anyone? Thank you. Odoayo says a project has a beginning and a end. You're defining. So good, great. A project has a beginning and a end. It has a timeline. Who else? What do you understand? by a project? What is a project to you? Any other person? A project is a design task by an individual or group. I think that's from Omajewe. Okay, and there's Adeyemi says construction. Yes, Chidindu, a project is a task that has a period of execution. So truthfully, a project can be any of those things. A project is a display of a particular topic, an agreement between two parties. Right, different and various. However, I want to tell you that as we continue in the training session, we're beginning to give we're beginning to give this definition a form and an understanding. We start to understand what are the characteristics of a project. Some of us actually term operational things that we do every day as projects. But as we continue on this in this training or in this learning sessions, we need to understand what project is, what are those things that we can define as a project, and what other things, and those things that we won't be classifying as a project. So a project is what source? A project can be you planning an event. Right? A project can be preparing for an exam. A project might be you starting a business. That period of time, you would say you are actually running a project. So if you say how many of us, I can't even say how many of us. Unknown to us, I want to believe that a lot of us has actually managed or carried out a project unknown to us. We've carried out one project or the other. Oh, my friend is having a birthday. I want to help my friend to put all these things together. I'll put the birthday together, make sure it's successful. You have managed that project of arranging that birthday from the planning stage up to the execution stage, so everybody says goodbye. Oh, it was a wonderful event. So you have actually managed a project hand to hand. So what exactly is project management as it is? Someone says, I want to believe, is it I got the name that time. Somebody actually said that a project is what? So it has a timeline. It has a clear start. It has a clear finish. So that's why I said that when you're starting, for example, you have a business idea, you're starting a business. You start from the beginning, you plan until you get to the point where the business is floating, like is doing well. Then at the point it becomes a routine thing because you've been able to set up that business up to a point that it can function on its own. So it moves from being a project to an operational business. So that's why we need to understand that when we are managing a project, most of the time, a project is actually has a clear start and a clear finish. Now that means when I'm starting it, okay, I'm setting up this. I want to set up this business. So I'm looking at it that this business mode. All right, okay, Mercy.
Please, can you put your screen on a projection mode? Thank you.
All right, thank you. I didn't know that moved. Sorry. So we need to understand that our project has a clear start and a clear finish. Like there's a defined start and a defined finish for a project. Now also a project has a unique output. So when you start the project, you already have at the back of your mind what exactly you want to achieve. So there must be clear deliverables at the end of your project. I've said it's not that routine operations. It's something a clear thing that you want to get at the end of the project. You're starting you're putting up a business idea, or you're starting up with a business idea. and you're looking at it, okay, I want to get this idea rolling. One of the things you're looking at the end of the day is, at the end of this project, I'm expecting that I have a clear business plan. Or you're setting up a wedding, a wedding event for someone. At the end of the day, that project, what you are trying to achieve is that at the end of the day, we have a successful wedding taking place and ending that particular day. So a clear project has what? A unique output. Either it be a product, a service, whatever outcome or result, there is something you are expecting at the end of that project. Also, it is goal driven. Like, there must be a clear objective for your project. So you just
Hello,
say,
madam.
okay, Mercy.
Okay, someone says you are going so fast.
Oh, I am. Okay, so where did you lose me so I can come back? Okay, let me take it back. So what exactly is project management, right? It's the application of our skills, application of project management knowledge, skills, whatever tools we have with respect to project management, how to manage a project, application of all those techniques to certain things that we want to do, maybe a goal that we have set or an objective that we have set, so that we can achieve them within a defined period or with defined resources that we might have. That's what project management is. Application of skills, application of knowledge, application of tools, application of different techniques for us to achieve any set goals that we have in mind within a stipulated time or within the stipulated resources that we might have. So what exactly makes something a project? Why is it different from our everyday operations? Number one, a project is temporary. That means a project has a defined start, a defined date, a defined finish. So we must have a start time and an end time when it comes to a project. So continually running a business is not a project, but a project might be all the things you need to do to be able to start the project, to start the business. So I want to start the business of making shoes or selling shoes. So my project within that period might be all that I need. So maybe I want to run it virtually. It might be I need to put up a virtual website, or I need to put up something, or set something up on WhatsApp. I need to have people to talk to. I need to have certain people that would help me distribute these things. I need to know who my buyers will be. That means my customers. All those things put together to be able to start up that business becomes the project. But it must have a clear date, and it must have a clear start and a clear finish. Now, if after I have set that up and I start to run the business and it becomes like a routine, a continuous thing, now I have moved from a project phase to an operational phase. So the business is now in operations. So there's a clear distinction. That time when you're like, okay, I am setting it up, ensuring that this is my outcome. My outcome is that I have a good platform. I have a platform where I can do my sales, right? So I started a business, and the business, my outcome is my output. That's the second point, which is a unique output. My output is that I have a platform for my sales. Now, that's at the point where I get my deliverables, my objective is that I can now start the sales of my shoes. That project ends there. Now it becomes an operational thing. When I start to run the business, I start to make this. So I start to make sales. That becomes operational. It is no longer a project. Just like I said that maybe you're trying to set up you're trying to, okay, let's say you're trying to prepare a birthday event, or you're trying to help your friend with a birthday, or your family member to plan a birthday party, right? So you have, we want to plan this birthday party. We're planning 2 weeks from this time. Now, in order to plan 2 weeks from this time, what are the things that we need? What are the resources that we need to put in place? Like I said application of your knowledge, your skills, your tools, your techniques to achieve the objective of planning this birthday party within 2 weeks with whatever capacity or whatever resources that you have. And when I say resources that you have, maybe the monies you need to spend, the people you need to work with. And when I say when you know, and within a defined scope also. So this birthday party, we are restricting it to only family members. Or the scope of our birthday is that we want to invite family and friends. We are adding other friends or classmates or colleagues at work to this birthday party. Oh, we want this birthday party to just be a panel party, or we have decided that we want to take this birthday party maybe into an event hall. Those things are your scope. Like you're trying to see what are the limitations for this birthday party. Yes, what are the boundaries that we need to keep for us to be able to have a successful outcome? Because while you're considering your successful outcome, you're considering the costs that you need to incur. So your cost can also determine your scope, right? Like, okay, how big do we want this birthday party to be? At the end of the day, the unique output is to ensure that, everybody comes into that birthday party, that comes for the birthday party, they are fed, they enjoy themselves, they have fun, and all that. So that is your unique product is to have a birthday party. Your objective is to ensure that everyone has fun, the celebrant feels celebrated, and all how you manage a project from end to finish. So you are looking at it as a person. They have called me. It might be the knowledge of the fact that you know how to manage an event, or the knowledge of the fact that you know how to put things together. You have to start to look at it. Oh, what do I have? What are your tools that you have there? Oh, I have connections. I have people that do this, that do that, right? Oh, what is the time frame that has been provided? It is a 2 weeks. You have to plan it within 2 weeks, right? Oh, what exactly are your constraints? What are the things you need to actually factor into this? Oh, the cost that I've been given 100,000 to plan this party. Trust me, you are not going to go beyond that 100,000. You won't say, oh, 100,000, let's go and take a haul of 600,000, because it is within a particular cost. Or they told you that we only want families, or maybe family and a few friends. That's not when the time you need to now write a letter, or you start posting on a general Facebook or a WhatsApp group to say, oh, somebody is having a party. So you need to understand all these things, all what has been given to you to define the project, so that you can be able to manage the project appropriately. Right? You need to understand when you're planning a project, number one, you need to have a vision of what you want to do. Oh, is it Chidima? Is it Shade? Is it Temi? They call you and say, you know what, we need to plan a birthday, or we need to plan a get together or a meeting for the community, or for your maybe you need to plan a program for the office. For example, the idea is you need to have a clear vision of, okay, how do we want this program? What do we want to do? What is expected? What is the outcome? At the end of the day, what's the objective? In fact, that should be very clear in your mind. What's the objective for this program that we are planning? What is the objective? So it gives you, that's the vision. Like, okay, what are we planning to achieve at the end of this program that we are planning? That's your vision. Then with your vision, you start to make plans. You start to look at, oh, what is needed, right? And at the same time, as you're doing it, you need to understand that you can't do it alone, right? So that is where you start to build a team. What are the people? What are the skills that I need to be able to ensure that I can fulfill this vision? What are the people? What are the people that is needed? What are the people that we need to talk to ensure that this happens? So, for example, you're planning a meeting in your office. They've given you that mandate to plan a particular meeting. Oh, it's our office. You don't just start planning the meeting. Based on what you want to achieve, you should start to look at it. Who are the people that I need to talk to ensure that this meeting is a success? So you are starting to look at your stakeholders in this case. Who are the people that will be involved? So for example, you need to use a hall, or maybe you need to use an office in that room, and some people use it before, or there's tendency some people who want to use it. You need to understand the people you need to talk to so that you can be able to have that access to that room when you need it at the time of your own meeting. Or you need to understand, you need to learn to know, okay, who are the people that will help me achieve results? Okay, so in terms of planning this meeting, I am very good in this area, but when it comes to, for example, setting up the projector, for example, setting up the projector, you need to understand who is the person that will help me to get this done. Because if you don't get those people into the room, you might not be able to achieve your result because you can't do it alone. So that's the place of understanding teamwork. The people you need to talk to, the people that will support you, the people that you need to inform with respect to certain decisions. I think in this case, I would say that you can bring in a RACI. You need to know who is going to be responsible for what in your planning and in your execution. You need to know who is going to be accountable. Those that need to know what you're doing, those that need to be informed, those that need to be consulted. So we need to access a particular resource within the organization, and we need somebody. There are some people that we need to tell, or we need to inform them. We need to consult them. There are some people that need to guide us into what we need to do. You need to understand all these people, all these ones, as the teamwork. Those that need to work with you to ensure that that project is executed. Then when it comes to risk management, this is the part where you need to understand. These are the objectives. This is our objective. We need to have a meeting on so date. The staff at the end of the day must be satisfied, or they must be happy, or maybe the result is okay. Maybe it's a team bonding exercise. At the end of this project, at the end of this program, we must find out there's cohesiveness amidst the staff. How do we ensure that this happens? You have looked at it as you already have your vision, then you have planned it. You have looked at the people that can help you to achieve these results. That's why you have created your team. Aside creating your team, you have ensured that you understand who your stakeholders are, so that you know that everything is in place. Everybody that needs to be reached is already reached. Then the area of risk management is when you start to think deeply and start to ask yourself, oh, what are the possible things that will not help us achieve the results that we want to achieve? That is where risk management comes into play. You start to envisage ahead of time what could possibly happen to distort the objective of this meeting. So let's say that meeting, you're already thinking about it, that during this meeting, these are the things that, it's possible that while we are having this meeting, because of certain things we have experienced with the projector might go off or might malfunction. What do? You might start to actually plan to have a different projector for that day, or you decide to have a spare projector. Oh, you look at it, there's somebody you're talking to that you're expecting to come and have a conversation in that same room, in that meeting. There's tendency that this person might not show up. You might start to find find somebody else that can come in or sit in for that person or standing for that person if that person does not show up. You start to look at it, okay, this meeting, there might be reasons why. For example, my team might say it's a long meeting. And because it's a long meeting, they are very reluctant to come because they know that maybe our usual meetings does not have food, right? Doesn't have item 7. You start to look at it, so to encourage them to be seated for the number of hours that you want them to be in that meeting, I want to provide item 7. So you're envisaging some of the things that will not help you meet the objective of that meeting, and you're finding ways to ensure that you can mitigate against those things, or you can avoid, or you can reduce the effect of those things on the outcomes of your vision, which is the meeting. Then once you have put all these things in place, you execute. And when we say execute, that's when we now have the meeting, everything that we have planned, and all of it together come into play. And with this, we can actually have a successful project. Now, why do we study project management? Some of these things have even mentioned. I remember Dr. Orlando saying something about employability when you have project management skills and when you have business analysis skills. Beyond that, AI skills will take you places. There's nothing on this in this learning series that will not help you to build yourself, to develop you as a person, and develop you career-wise also. So number one, why we should study project management to achieve our goals, right? Because when we know how to manage projects very well, we are able to plan everything that we want to do. So when you are set out to achieve a particular, maybe you have an idea, you can easily plan it out step by step until you get to achieve your results. And you can apply this anyhow, anyway. I heard that so many people in different careers on this call. When Mercy was speaking, I hear a lot of people, some accountants, some traders, different phase of life. So there's nothing you want to do, especially when you want to set out to do something. Okay, I want to start as a trader. I want to start a new business, right? You can actually say, okay, these are the things I want to. My goal is that I want to know how I'm going to start this business, or I will start running this business. You can set a timeline. I want to start to run this particular business or sell this particular product in the next, let's say 8 weeks. Then you now set out, okay, in the next 8 weeks, I should be selling the product. Within that 8 weeks, you start to plan. What are the things I need to put in place? What are the things I need to know? Do I need to get some skills? Do I need to meet some people? Are there registrations I need to make? Do I need to register somewhere? Do I need to be a member somewhere? Do I need to have a place to sell these products? All these things fall in between your project manager. You're managing that project, right? And the outcome is to now sell that your new project. So project management teaches you how to achieve your goals. It helps you to achieve your goals. Another one, boost employability. I've said it. When you have those skills, I can't overemphasize what Dr. Orlando has said. When you have this, it makes you what I like to say is more expensive, right? In the market, it makes you a talent that people they want to pay good money for in the market, right? So develop leadership, because project management involves a lot of leadership, managing teams. So imagine you're asked to manage a project from end to finish. There are so many people, and people are one of the most difficult, let me not use the word difficult, most challenging entities to manage. If you can manage people, trust me, you can practically manage anything. So it helps you to be able to develop your own leadership prowess. How to manage people, the good ones, the bad ones, the ugly ones, the beautiful ones. How to ensure that you can influence people to get the outcomes that you need. So it helps you develop your leadership skills. It helps you to manage resources wisely. If you want to be a good project manager, you must be a good resource manager. Beyond money, you must be a good finance manager. And I want to believe that finance management is also one of the skills that we will be learning throughout this course and in this 12 weeks journey. You have to be able to manage everything that you are giving to you. Otherwise, I was giving an example when I was talking about the birthday party. The person said, manage this birthday party, I have 100,000. Trust me, that's not when you want to start to look at, okay, let's go and rent a hall. Trust me, you start to look at friends that have big compounds or big sitting rooms. Please, can we use your sitting room for this birthday party? You start to think beyond, you start to think beyond that box when you have to manage appropriately within certain constraints as it is. Now, you can apply to everyday life, right? It helps you to be able to achieve things that you want to achieve on your own, and you achieve them quickly and you achieve them successfully, right? Okay, what you'll be able to do after this program, you should be able to initiate projects, right? Be able to define the scope, set objectives, right? Start projects successfully. Also, you'll be able to manage teams. I said that there are a lot of people you'll be working with. So when you learn, what you learn from this program will teach you how you can manage teams, how you can learn to understand how to influence, how you can learn to ensure that people are always willing or to work with you. They are driven to work with you. That is one of the things you'll be learning from this program. Handling risk. Risk management is core for any management as it is. So also is it core for project management. You should be able to identify risk that you will come across in any project. So you should be able to identify them, assess them, and be able to respond to those risks before they actually happen, or to happen to actually now disturb your project. Right? Now, one of the things you also learn is how to create realistic plans. How do you ensure that you can set up schedules? How can you allocate resources within those schedules and be able to achieve the things that you have set out to achieve? Now, monitoring performance. You will learn how to monitor performance, right? You have to be able to track, okay, this is what I said I will be doing, or I will achieve by this time. Am I achieving it? How do I track the progress of those things that I have planned? All these things we'll be learning during the program. Also, delivering success. We cannot deliver success without being able to manage our stakeholders appropriately, right? So we must be able to manage our stakeholders, and our stakeholders goes beyond. Sometimes our stakeholders are people that we are not even thinking about. So it's important during this program, we'll be able to help you through understanding, being able to catch on every stakeholder that is very relevant to your project, right? This is the program structure across the generic one, across the entire program. I know you saw some of those things that Dr. Orlando showed to us that had the 4 series. However, for project management, these are the things that we'll be going through. Week 1, which is the overview of the project management, where we'll be learning about the different project management concept as it is, how we understand what the project life cycle is, right? What the role of project management, that gives us an overview. The project, the week 2, we'll be talking about principles and project initiation. Then we will understand all the fundamental principles of project management, the processes that is involved in starting projects. That would bring about setting up business cases, right? Understanding project objectives, understanding business justifications, right? Stakeholder identification. All this will be part of week 2, which is principles of project initiation. Week 3 is about planning and execution. This one is where we start to understand how to develop project plan, define the activities for projects, right? Allocating resources, how we set up schedules and schedules for those project activities as it is. Now, week 5, which is which is monitoring, controlling, and closing. Here we'll be talking about how to track projects, right? Project performance, how we manage changes within projects, then how to be able to conduct formal closures for different projects. Now, project governance talks about what should I call it? What are those decision-making frameworks that we have within the project? How do we make decisions, right? Who are how do we manage accountability within the project? What are the policies guiding all the projects that we are working on? This is what will be discussed around project governance. Then in week 6, which we'll be talking about project scope, like I said, helping you to understand the limitations and boundaries of your project, right? This is what project scope is about. Schedule management is the timing, how you the timing of your project. How do you schedule those projects? How to understand them? This is where we understand the critical path analysis. How we plan milestones and all that. Now, when it comes to finance, I said finance is a great part. Finance and cost management is a critical part of project management also. So this is where we understand project budgeting, how we estimate costs, right? Cost control, financial planning around projects. This is where we'll be learning all of that. When it comes to week 9, where we're going to stakeholder management, this also now puts so much a much more in-depth focus on identifying stakeholders, understanding and analyzing their interest and their influence on our project, how to develop engagement strategies to be able to manage these stakeholders appropriately. How do we ensure that we can effectively communicate with these stakeholders? All this will be going on in week 9. In week 10, which is resource management, we're talking about planning, acquisition, and how we allocate resources, be it any kind of resources, fiscal resources, human resources, any technology resources, any resources whatsoever that we might need to be able to successfully execute our project. Then week 11 will dive deep into risk management. It will introduce us to methods of identifying, analyzing, and assessing risk as it is, how we can prioritize those risks, how we can ensure we respond to it, monitor our risk responses. These are the things that we'll be learning when it comes to the risk management in week 11. And week 12, we are able to learn how we can ensure that we can adapt what we have learned, right? How do we ensure that we can adapt all that we have learned throughout the week for different projects that we might come across? Now, these are the things that we go on through this week 12, and it's important that we're all part of it. And all of this session to actually help us, there'll be a lot of explanations around the concepts. There'll be practical examples. There'll be real life studies. There'll be exercises and assessments, assignments, open up to question and answers. These are the things that we should expect during this 12-week journey. Now, how to get the most of this program? Please be available. That means attend regularly. Let us show up consistently so that we can actually get the best from the program. Then we should participate. That's not just when it comes to learning. When I go into a class, I always say this. See, the learning itself is not from the teacher or the trainer or the lecturer or the facilitator. Now, the learning is from those that are seated in the room, because we are seated in different places. We are coming with diverse perspectives. So we should learn to ask questions, showing our ideas, share stories, experiences. That is where the actual learning is happening. So I want to encourage everyone to be able to participate actively throughout these classes. Then let us learn to complete assignments. Assignments, when you're doing assignments, it means that you're going through what you have learned. It means that you are even learning more, because I learned a lot from assignments, because that's when I delve deeper into what has been taught in class. So please, let's learn to complete assignments, demonstrate practice of what it is that we are learning. Now, we should also be able to apply what we are learning. Please don't learn and wait till the last day. As you're learning, apply it to your day-to-day activities. Is it at work? Is it at home? Is it in your business? Ensure you are applying what you have learned. And this cuts across all the sessions. I'm not speaking only to project management. Ensure that you're applying what you're learning week on week to whatever it is that you're doing in your private lives. So I'm asking you, what project are you working on? I hope you're already thinking about those things and thinking on how you're going to proceed with those projects. So in finality, I want to say every successful achievement begins as a project, right? So for us to be able to achieve what we are dreaming about, we need to plan. We need to plan. So I'm advising and I'm imploring, I'm engaging everyone, and I'm saying, have a vision today, make a plan, take an action so that you can deliver the results that you desire. So thank you very much. I think I'm going to hand over to the team now. Thank you for this. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Shola, for that very warm expository of what we are to expect in the course of the program as far as project management is concerned. And I want to lend a voice to that. Please be attentive in class and take your studies seriously, so that at the end, when you're graduating, you will be very proud of what you have done for yourself. And of course, without wasting much time, we would love to introduce the next speaker, who would be exposing to us what we are to expect as far as business analysis is concerned. And he is a business analysis coach, and this is no other person but Mr. Oluwatobi Adedeji. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you on the call, and the floor is all yours now.
Thank you so much, Edith. It's always a pleasure to always speak to people, like minds, colleagues, senior bosses, like Dr. Orlando said, on this particular important skill, important knowledge area that we are supposed to get. Please confirm that you can hear me, so that we could I could just run through the slides very quickly. Please confirm that.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Okay. Also confirm that you can see my screen. Let me put it on presentation mode so that
Yes, I can see your screen as well.
okay, great. Okay. All right. So for 12 weeks, you have a lot of activities that you'll be doing. Today is the 6th, so we're doing the overview. So I'll just run through part of the highlights of the things that we will be doing over the next 12 weeks, right? From this week, we're doing the overview of business analysis competencies, and the strategy analysis, right? Context for business analysis happens next week. And I like the way this has already been structured, because you would have a deep dive into all of these areas, and you will be able to have a full understanding of what it entails, what are the necessary things that you will need to have within the skill set to be able to gather that information, right? It's going to be very important that, both speakers have said before, it's for you to pay attention to those classes, and you cannot go wrong if you do, right? I joined earlier where I saw Dr. Orlando speaking around what you stand to gain if you have this skill set under your grasp. Okay, so for 13th June, you have strategic context of business and for business analysis. It's a huge thing that a lot of organizations still struggle with. However, and that's why they need us, right, to be able to um, to help and guide within those areas, right? The 20th will be business analysis service framework. There are 6 core competencies within this area alone that you have to have a full understanding of, right? I'll walk you through just a bit in a few. I just want to quickly run through the dates, right? So that you can keep that in, or you can book your calendars for those dates for those of us that will be going through the business analysis class. All right. I believe that every one of us should, as advised by Dr. Orlando, right? On the 27th, it will be investigation of the business situation. So understanding the as is process. That's what all of this concept is talking about. You have to first, before you can help somebody, you have to know what exactly is what that person has currently before you can then advise the person on what next steps to take. All right. So then the 4th of July will be analyzing and managing stakeholders, right? So again, you must be able to understand the people you're working with, right? So understand their characters, the way the culture within the organization. Is very important that you understand the culture, right? You can't go wrong if you understand the culture and then know where to bring up the most important improvements that will come up within those areas, right? So I'll still go on to talk more in depthly on this area, right? So 11th July will be improving business analysis, business services, sorry, and I beg your pardon, and then processes, right? 18th will be defining the solution, all right, and then 25th will be making business cases. So in that area, you'll be having exercises to be able to. A lot of times, I've seen business organizations do use business cases to justify why they need to have the project. However, business case is beyond justifying why you need the project. You also justifying why the solution is important. So there's two separate sides to it. Understanding what is the problem statement, understanding what's the goal, and then what solution will be able to make you meet up with that goal, and then what's the expected performances that you would be expecting regarding that particular solution. It's a full concept, right? And then if there's any need for the cost evaluation and cost reviews and all of those things, it would all be stated clearly within the business case, right? Then establishing requirements. Again, this is very important. Note what I am saying. If you miss out on the requirements, the tendencies for you to be able to miss out on the solution is huge, right? So you always have to establish, and establishing it is based on what the stakeholders want, right? So it's not what you want or what your ideas are. It is what has been agreed by the stakeholders, right? So we'll look at all of that in the course of 12 weeks, right? Then that's on the 1st of August. On the 8th of August, we'll be documenting and modeling requirements. So there's a side to gathering requirements, and there's another side in modeling the requirements. Modeling the requirements to suit that which the solution is going to perform, right? So those are areas that we'll be looking at, and then over the course of 12 weeks, right? Then the 15th will be then validating it. So that, what simple term, gathering the requirements, what they call it, modeling the requirements, and then validating it. After modeling, there's another step that happens, which is to ensure that the models that you have created for those requirements have been validated by the stakeholders. And stakeholders vary depending on the importance of the project, right? It's very important that you understand this, because I'm taking time to just, by the time we go into the overview, I'm looking at my time so that we don't go over that, because this is just an introduction, right? So validating and managing requirements is very important, because after you validate it, you then have to follow through. Do you see that? Follow through. That's the part of the managing of the requirements. So to ensure that you're speaking with the respective implementation subject matter experts to ensure that they deliver as to the bespoke requirements and the solution that they are intending to have, right? So that's peradventure if you are building a software solution. Or peradventure if it's even if it's a building project, right? Who will be the implementation subject matter experts, right? If it's a building project, the bricklayers, the architects, the architect could be part of the people who will model the requirements. Do you see? But for what they call it now, building projects, you will have the carpenters who will do the roof and all the doors and all of those things. We have plumbers who will come in to do the what they call it, restrooms, the kitchen cabinets, and all of those various other things. So it cuts across all industries. So if you, for instance, if you're in the manufacturing industry, for instance, the people who will be implementing are the ones who will be going into the factory to be able to develop the product, right? So I'm just giving you a full understanding to ensure those are the people that you'll be managing, right? But for the validation, it is the project sponsor, people who know the full scope of the project, and they know what the outcome of the project should be, right? So these are two different stakeholders that you have to critically look at, and to ensure that you give them the required information that they need per time. All right. Anyways, I'll still get to that in a bit, right? Then delivering the requirements. That's after you have you've gone through the process from end to end, right? And then on the 29th, we then to deliver how you deliver business solutions to your customers or to your clients or to your project teams or to the project stakeholders, right? So those are the areas that we're going to be looking at very quickly. So let me just go to that. Now, if you look at this diagram very well, you see that we are already using a modeling technique, right? Which is mind mapping. So this is the overview of everything that we have talked about. Now, that brings me to the point. What's your understanding about business analysis? And I've heard in various organizations that I've worked in time past where they would say that business analysis is just for business analysts are people who gather requirements. I find that very, very insulting because we do much more than just gathering requirements. However, because we work in an organized in a how would I say a culture centric country, right? Where you can't react in most organizations, and that's one of the skill sets that you must have as a business analyst. Understanding your stakeholders, understanding the communication skills, how to communicate, how to interact with your stakeholders too as well. So, anyways, let me not bore you with all the theatrics that I'm talking about within this few moments, right? Well, importantly, what's business analysis, right? If you know the answer, it's on your screen anyways, but business analysis is, first of all, you being able to, I'm not going to use the slide, but that's what you can use the slide if you want to define it, or look at it, what it says here. Let me just use the slide first, and then I'll give you practical ways of defining what business analysis is, right? Business analysis is the structured process of understanding the business problem, engaging stakeholders, defining right solution, and ensuring that the solution delivers measurable value to the organization. Practically, this is a holistic, all of this is all encompassing. There are several steps in just this definition that you have, right? Understanding the business. So needs analysis, that's what he's talking about there. To be able to understand the needs of the organization, you have to do a needs analysis, right? On that, so by the time you're done with your needs analysis report, you'll be able to identify what the problem is, right? Then stakeholders management, stakeholders analysis, stakeholders listing. I've mentioned 3 processes, right? So stakeholders management, stakeholders listing, that's identifying them, period. Knowing what then the managing of the stakeholders is the communications, what's the best approach that they would like to have as a stakeholder. So, and stakeholders vary. Okay, now I'll get into that in a bit. Okay, then defining what so after engaging the stakeholders, then you are defining the right solution. He didn't say just dumping the solution. You are defining the right. So that means you have various solutions that you would have to assess to be able to determine the right solution for the organization. So in terms of cost implication, value implication, feature and functions side to it, whether the also the knowledge gap within the organization. You have to consider the demography within the organization. So for instance, if you're working, no offense to the government, what do they call it now, employees on the call, right? But you know that the demography in the government industry is quite different from the demography that you have in consulting, and is also quite different from the ones you have in the manufacturing industry. It's different when it comes to insurance and things like that. So you have to consider all of these factors to be able to come up with the right solution for the organization, right? Okay. All right, so ensuring that the solution, then that's the part where you hear people talk about value realization, or they talk about value realization. They talk about what they call it, the impact of the solution within the organization. So they'll do an impact analysis of after the solution has been deployed. So business analysis, unlike project management, I'm not, and because I'm a business analyst, I don't want to speak. I'm also a project manager too, as well, in some cases, right? So, but for project management, once the project is delivered, right, and handed over to the stakeholders, right, that's where their job stops. They move on to the next. However, for business analysis, we go beyond that. We ensure that we do the value realization, that maybe after 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, we do a value realization report to be able to, or benefit realization, right? So to see whether this solution actually meets up with the values that they have already defined within their space. All right. So that being said, let's move on to, so let's just quickly run through in about 5 minutes or so. Right. So the overview of business analysis, I just did an overview for you right now, right? But in the body of knowledge for business analysis, in business analysis space, right? So let me give you a typical understanding. So there's business analysis core concepts, right? There are business analysis core concepts. There are knowledge areas for every business analyst. There are 6 of them. For business analysis core concepts, I believe that there are 5. All right, 5 of them that you should know, right? Then there is the core competencies, core concepts. That's BACCM, right? So that's 5. Right. Then for, I might not have time to be able to go into in-depth, so you can just go and search on these things that before the class starts. I'm sure you will learn a lot when you come into the class, and these are things that we already have structured for you, right? So then we have core competencies. So that's where you do analyzing analytical problems, analyzing analytical problems and knowledge areas within a particular organization, understanding the business acumen, understanding the business itself, the business knowledge, right? What again? Technology, understanding the technology within that particular environment, right? So, what have you again? I think, but anyways, as we go on, I'm just trying to speak through volumes of materials, right? So all in the space of 5 minutes. Okay. So, but those are core competencies that you must be able to, yes, your interaction skills, your communication skills, right? The way and your information technology, your understanding of information, how information should be communicated, what are the various models or venues that you will discuss those information that you have at your fingertips based on what you have assessed, right? So basically, that's on the core competencies. Strategy analysis, understanding where you are currently, determining the goal, where you are going to, right? That will be your to be process. And then what's the gap between both of them, right? So am I going through various am I going to have, what would I take, what would I need to, sorry about that, what would I need to be able to bridge the gap between the current state and the future state? You do a gap analysis within there. Okay, so all right, that's on the number 1. So you see here it says introduction of business analysis. These are the things you're going to do, right? Introduction of business analysis, the role of a business analyst, the competencies of a business analyst, and I told you that the role of a business analyst is not just to gather requirements, right? So you can serve as a process model analyst, you could a process analyst, a systems analyst. You can go into analytical analysts, analytics and data analysis, right? You can do all of that if you go through and follow through the business analysis space. Okay, so it's very important that you do that, right? So let's look at it again one more time. So okay, I have about 2 or 3 minutes more here, so let me just quickly rush through this part. I hope I'm not too fast. If I am, you can stop me anyway if you need to ask any questions so far, right? So So, okay, that's on strategy analysis, right? Then I've talked about strategic context and for business analysis. Where you are currently, that's your current state. Where you are going to, which is how understanding of the vision of the project, understanding the vision of the organization, the goals that the organizations have concerning concerning that particular project. Not the you can also use the overall vision of the organization to properly align your project goals, right? But the vision, the ones that we're talking about now, is for that particular project, right? The vision, the goals, and how you will come in to be able to support this. I always like to say that people should not bring in the business analyst at when the project has already started, right? Because he will still have to go and do all the reviews of the necessary documents. A lot of times in organizations and I'm sure most of us that are on the call, right, we'll see that a lot of organizations just bring in the business analyst to just gather requirements, and when it's done, submit your business requirement document, and that's it. But the business analyst is supposed to, from the conception of the project down to the delivery, and also post implementation support. Sorry, plug it directly to the lights. All right. Okay. So then business analysis framework in this aspect, right? A lot of times people don't I told you that there are 6 of them in this regard, and I must say there are 6 core services: situation investigation, right? That's, you must understand that, feasibility assessment, right? And business process improvement, requirement definition. I'm trying to remember a lot of them. I think requirement definition, business process testing, business analysis or acceptance testing, as the case might be, and then your change deployment. Okay, so we must look at all of those things and put them into proper perspective, right? Your understanding of these core concepts, this business analysis service framework, these 6 areas are going to be taught you within in that particular time, right? In the third week, right? So investigation, I have to be quick here. Investigation will be investigating the business situation. That's understanding where you are currently. So in that area, you're going to be doing a needs assessment or a needs analysis and all of those things, gathering of information, speaking, having engagements with your stakeholders, knowing where the business is currently, right? And I always like to say the demography is very important. So for instance, if you have people at maybe 50 and 60, they might not be as active on those interactive solutions as much as the younger generation, right? I stand corrected, so please don't feel offended if you are within that same age range that I just made mention of, right? But I'm just saying the flexibility of a young person who is skilled in it will also come into play, right? So understanding the current business situation and the problems, and then the various opportunities that they have identified. Now, I must say this as a disclaimer: business analysts they should try as much as possible, even though not to be the ones stating that this is the solution that the business needs. However, based on the analysis that is being done, they can present the solution. Okay, so you're going to be doing something like solution evaluation, stakeholders evaluation, doing all of those various activities just to be able to come up with the right solution. Remember, in our definition, the right solution, right? So that's what you do when you are investigating. So then we now move further or proceed to say that analyzing and managing stakeholders. Here, there are various stakeholders. We have project stakeholders. Okay, all right. All right. So we have all of everybody I introduced my daughter to. Anyways, all right. So where was I? Managing the stakeholders. Identifying the stakeholders is very important. All right. Identifying the stakeholders is very, very important. Right. So so we can have the subject matter experts. So those are the people who understands the business terrain, right? Or that's, we can call them business subject matter experts. For implementation, I've made mention of that. So implementation, those are people who will be implementing the solution. So they are called implementation subject matter experts, right? So we have the project sponsor, we have project managers, we have business analysts, we have the technical people, that's development team, if you want to call them that. But I would like to say we can generalize it to call it the implementation subject matter experts, analyzing them to know who and who, right, will be able to do the job, right? So identifying the stakeholders, analyzing their needs, influence, and the planning the stakeholders engagement. So draw up a chart to be able to know when you will be engaging these various stakeholders, right? So again, it's very important, right? So I'm rounding up, trying to just speed up things. Let me look at what other things I should talk about. Improving business services and processes. Now, this part, you're going to be analyzing and improving business processes and services to meet the business needs and to create value. Again, this will be expounded once you get into the class, right? So, but what's the context here, or this concept is you just being able to, first of all, identify what is currently on ground, the processes, the internal processes that they are having here, right? And then we can now then look at it from, okay, are there standard and processes within that area that maybe the organization that you are speaking with or that you're engaging don't have, right? And then, oh, is there a way that we can improve? So maybe, nowadays where we are using bots, BOT, right, to automate some of the manual processes that we do in organizations, especially in the banks, right? So they use bots to be able to do what maybe 10 people will do. The bots will be able to do the analysis in seconds, right? Thereby reducing the manpower and increasing efficiency, right? Not just to displace people, but to ensure that the processes, that's why you see that before, in those days, I don't know if you still remember, when you want to go and collect your statement of account, right? You want to collect the statement, it will take them, they'll tell you to come back maybe in 1 week or 2 weeks, or they'll give you a specific time when you can come and generate or you have to go to the bank physically. But now you can do it at the comfort of your phones, right? So there's an engine or a machine that is doing that work for you to be able to collect all that information, as the case might be. All right. Defining the solution. This is where you define scope. Very important. What is in scope and what is out of scope. Very, very important. Trust me, when you get into the point, you would understand. I know that most of us already have a background within identifying or being able to build scope for a particular project, right? So then I said making the business case. Now, this is where you are evaluating options and then building a business case to justify the recommended solution. Do you see that is different? When you do in organizations, right? I've worked in a couple of banks, all right, and in an organization they will say, "Oh, draw up your business case first," right? And then they will now say, "Okay, maybe this is the objectives that they have," right? So this is the objective that they want to see. This is the scope based on their own criteria, right? But there's another type of business case that justifies the solution itself, right? So, and because you would have already gone to do all the assessments. So this is after you have done your requirement, understanding the goal at which you want to deliver, right? Before it then becomes a project, right? So you will then, a lot of times, this gap is always there, or in most organizations, let me not say all organizations. We always want to just quickly start the project, without understanding whether the solution is a best fit for the organization, right? We only do maybe demos, things like that. So, all right. So those are things that we have to look at, right? So, finally, and as I round off, right, is establishing requirements. That's you being able to validate the requirement, documenting it and modeling it. That is when you will be able to identify that which it is that you want to and that you have built it in such a way like a prototype, as the case might be, right? To come up with something that the stakeholders will be able to see and believe that, okay, you actually know what you're doing, right? Then validating that requirement, getting them to sign off that document so that you can then begin the implementation. Okay, then deliver the process. That's when you now create your SDLC, software development lifecycle, where you then come to say, okay, from point A to point B, these are the certain activities that you would have to come up with. You see that you have 11 things to do first before you start up the project. A lot of times, because we are always in crunch time, everybody wants to build the solution as fast as possible. We skip a lot of things. We compress it. For those of us that are in a fast-paced organization, right? We compress the project and the processes and the activities that we need to do before we then go on with it. All right. So these are the things that you will learn within this, and I'm sure that once you need this in everyday life, actually. And you need it in everyday life. And let me just put a disclaimer there. Don't try this. If you are married, don't say because you're a business analyst, right? You want to practice business analysis in your home. See, that's a different project on its own. That's a disclaimer. All right. So, all right. Thank you very much. Edith, over to you. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take those questions. And then, all right. So, those are things. Do we have any questions? Do you have anybody's hands up?
Okay. Once again, thank you very much, Toby. Thank you for that. So, Toby, one thing you did not do is that most people don't know you. So, can you drop your LinkedIn profile in the chat room? The same thing with Shola. So once again, thank you, Toby. A lot of everybody that was going to be taking these classes in terms of the trainers, this is what they do. So Toby has done business analysis in consulting, in banking, and does it even in insurance and many other industries. So this is not theoretical. Over the next few weeks, with the things we're going to be doing, they're not theoretical. They are real things because the people who are going to be teaching them, that's what they do. Shola, who took the session before now, manages the overall project management office of a consulting company, and part time, even if she does not have projects, she has about half a dozen project managers that report to her. And part time, she has maybe 10, 15 different projects that she's managing, overseeing, and directing all the time. So all the project managers who are going to be teaching the project management model, they all are project managers who live and eat project management. Everybody who's going to be teaching, taking and delivering the business analysis model, they do business analysis for a living. The same thing with AI and even ISO standards and all that. So it's extremely important that you know that these people are not just speaking theoretically, they do that particular thing. Even for the personal empowerment program, everybody that we're going to bring in to do one thing or the other, that is what it is that they do for a living or is tied to their job. So once again, Toby, thank you very much. If you have questions, put them in the chat room. I'm certain he will attend to them. He's still on the call. Let me quickly get through. So once again, thank you very much, Toby. I appreciate you. If we had to pay you for that session, I'm certain that it will cost us an arm and a leg. So you're kind enough to do it for us without charging us a dime. So once again, thank you very much for that. I will quickly go through the last session because today is just the introductory portion of this work. Today is not the real work. The real work starts next week as it is. So, Toby, I think you need to stop sharing your screen so that I can share mine. So the real work starts next week as it is. So can anybody see my screen yet? Edith, can you see my screen yet?
Yes, I can see your screen, Doc.
What do you have on it?
The power of ISO standards.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to do this very quickly. As I said, this is just a start. There's still a lot. I mean, today we're just introducing this. So, I mean, for an American credit type system, the entire 12 weeks is going to end up being almost like 6 credits course in itself. So once again, this is an accredited training class. It comes to about 6 credits as it is acceptable in a Canadian American type system, because there are assignments after each of those modules. So you're going to do 4 multiplied by 12. So you're pretty much going to do exercises and assignments across 48 different should I say modules within the courses in themselves. So it's 12 multiplied by 4, they're 48. The spreadsheet that we maintain means that you must have your results across the 48 of them. It's an extremely intensive period of time. So it's not a joke. We're not playing with it, but I promise you, if you pay attention to it, it will definitely change something in your life and in your career for good as it is. So I'll quickly go through this. ISO standards are very important. They're global standards. They're not Nigerian or Ghanaian or African standards. They're global. They are global standards, and they're extremely important as it is. And organizations in themselves are always looking to adopt ISO standards. So there is no organization in the world that the 10 areas that we've talked about is not a huge concern for them. There is no bank, there's no insurance company, there is no telecommunications company, there is no manufacturing company, there is no government agency that the 10 ISO standards that we're talking about is not important to them. Every kind of organization, small, medium, large, enterprise, global, these 10 areas matter to them. The 10 areas that we're going to be talking about, they matter to them. And they have units, they have departments, they have divisions that all those people care about are those 10 or that all they are saddled with. Each of those departments are those 10 standards. So it's important that you understand that. Now, most organizations have not implemented the standards. What they have done is that they're dealing with the area of work, but they have not necessarily implemented the standards. So, but once again, it's your job to go to help these organizations do that. So that an organization is not just thinking about quality or risk or health and safety or environmental management or customer service or information or IT service management or information security or cybersecurity or business continuity. It's important that you help the organizations understand these areas of work, but you also help them understand the applicability of the ISO standards for each of those areas. Let me say that again. So companies normally worry about quality, they worry about risk, but they're not necessarily doing these things in line with the ISO standards. So a lot of organizations are doing customer service, but they're not necessarily doing it in line with international standards. A lot of organizations are doing environmental management, but they're not doing it in line with the standard. So the idea here is that you will first learn about the area of work, 2, learn about the applicability of the standard, and 3, you'll be able to help organizations around this. I know that some people that are here, they're very much interested in this particular area. I mean, as an organization, this is what we do. We do these ISO standards in 1 year. If we don't get to a couple of companies, we'll probably get to about 100 plus companies in helping them implement and adopt these ISO standards. And that's the idea, that organizations should take not just the area of work, but also the standard. And lastly, is that you as a person, you that you're listening to me, you'll be able to help an organization appropriately drive, implement these standards. Yes, there's a lot that is involved, but at least we will give you the introduction into each of these areas. We'll also ensure that you do exams, foundation exams around these 10 areas. This is important. This is critical. We have in our organization more than 50, I dare say more than 60 people who are specialists and experts with each of these standards. And the reason why we put them in is because it's also the work that we do. So I'm hoping that you're also here, you'll be able to help organizations adopt these standards or even understand them and even help them drive adoption. So if an organization gets this right, you can see some of those things on my screen. They will definitely get improved quality, increased efficiency, enhanced customer satisfaction. They will manage risk much better, ensure that the organization is not just a sustainable organization, but an organization that has adopted sustainability. You know, those are two different things. A sustainable organization and an organization that has adopted sustainability as a principle, and of course their reputation and all that will be significantly increased. So this is important. It's important to every organization. It doesn't matter where that company is, whether the company is in Asia, is in China, is in the US, is in Canada, is in Nigeria. Every company that is called a company, that is called an organization, should, if they don't realize the importance of these things yet, they should worry about these things. And I want everybody to take a screenshot, if you know how to take a screenshot on your phone or your computer, and send this particular page to somebody in your organization and ask them, what are we doing relative to these areas? I want you to take a screenshot and share it with us and ask somebody, what exactly are we doing relative to these areas as an organization? What are we doing? Right? Where are we relative to these things? Are these things important to us? Are we doing them in line with international standards and things like that? So once again, this is a critical part of this whole 12-week program. There's no going around it. You would also see that the first five, I've called them the business or enterprise ISO standards. Right? That means they talk about the entire organization in itself, quality, risk, health and safety, environment, and then even customer service. They matter to the whole organization. The second half, which is on my right, depending on which of the there's this, which of the diagrams or the images that you're looking at. If you're looking at the beautiful doodle image to my right, you then see that the five on the other side, they're very IT related. Very IT related. So there's IT service management, there's information security, there's cybersecurity, there's business continuity, and then there's the entire concept of privacy. And all of us should know these things. So this is preparation for your future. So each of you should get on top of this. Now I want to ask everybody very quick exercise in the chat room. Which assuming you had to pick only one area of specialization, the business side or the IT side, I want to go into the chat room very quickly before I continue and see which side is going to win. Who do I have more on this course? The business people or the IT people? Which is your real interest, especially relative to your future, relative to your life? Which is of more interest to you based on just the high level description of what it is that I have put on the page? Let me go very quickly to the chat room. I want to see which side is going to win. All right, so let's see. IT or business? Okay, IT or business? IT. Boma count for me. Dr. Enabulele, thank you very much. I mean, that is a global medical doctor that is on the call. Thank you very much for taking your time out to be here. Please get as many medical doctors, young doctors, people in medical school involved. Well, thank you for taking the time out to be here. I didn't really think you were going to come, but thank you very much, doctor, for that. All right. So every other person, let me see. Which is yours? Which one who's going to win this competition? The IT people or the business people? Now it looks, I don't even know. Boma, who's winning? The IT side or the business side in terms of the interest that people have? The IT people or it's the business side, right? So yeah, so the good thing is that Wait, no, I can't imagine that this is our own very very Babo Gulu that is on the call. I would have Mr. Gulu or Chief Ogulu, I would have stood on my chair to give you a round of applause. Thank you very much for being here, sir. It's great to have you here. Rick, it's great to have you here once again. And everyone. The good thing is that on this particular call, Mrs. Obodo, thank you very much. The good thing, and Madam Beatrice, the good thing is that everybody is going to do the 10. That's the good thing. You're not running away from any of them. You're not going to be able to say, oh, I'm only going to do these ones. I'm going to ignore the others. Everybody's going to do the entire 10. But when you've completed the 10, my advice to you is that you then go to focus on a particular area. That's my advice. You do the 10 initially, and then later you go to focus on the 10. So that's what it is that I advise everybody to do, and that will be great. So in a few minutes, once again, we don't this is class is not meant, it's just the introductory class. We're not trying to take the whole day, because all of you have said, I mean, you've picked your interest. So as I said, take a screenshot here. Everybody should pick this up. This is important, and this is essential. So it doesn't matter. Everybody's covering the 10. We're going to cover the 10 in 10 weeks, starting from next week. We're going to cover the entire 10 in 10 weeks. And you all have a foundation exam that you must do, and you must pass. So there's no going around. There's no going around it. In the next few weeks, all of us would have to do this. Let me move on very quickly. So once again, that's what we want to do. This is the objective. This is the objective. This is the objective. Everybody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. Everybody that is here must become some sort of so must have adequate knowledge and skills as it pertains to this particular thing. Everybody, with the exception of nobody. So once again, this is important and this is essential. The idea is to turn every participant into somebody that is knowledgeable and skilled with regards to the use and adoption of the 10 ISO standards. You must be knowledgeable on one hand, and you can see that as an organization, we focus a lot on skills. You'll see us keep using the word skills. So the idea is that you're not just knowledgeable, like head knowledge or theoretical knowledge, you're also very skilled because you understand the application of these things for organizations. As I said earlier, there is no organization on this human earth. There is no organization on this human earth that these 10 areas are not or should not be important to them. So there's nobody. This should be important to everybody. I'll move on very quickly. I'm very mindful of my time because I don't want to keep you here. ISO 9001 talks about the quality of processes in every organization. And every organization should be worried about the quality of their processes, their procurement process, their sales process, their marketing process, their HR process, their finance process. Every organization should be worried about the quality of their processes. It's not just for manufacturing, it's for law firms, it's for advertising companies, it's for hospitals, it's for medical institutions, it's for public institutions. Every organization should be worried about the quality of the processes. And if you're going to get the quality of your processes right, ISO 9001 is the one thing that you should know. It's probably the most important standard as far as I'm concerned. Of all the 10 standards, ISO 9001 is the single most important standard in itself, because it's the quality of all the processes in an organization. So whether it's a legal process, whether it's customer service process, whether it's risk management process, compliance process, accounting process, it does not matter. The idea is that it teaches you the principles that you can use and adopt with regards to the improvement of processes. Let me move on. Risk management is key. Most people think that, they understand risk management, but most people, they don't really understand enterprise risk management. They understand risk management in silos. In fact, I have a book, maybe Boma, you can point to the book on my website, the book called Rude, that talks about I came up with 50 different categories of risk management and risk. There's risk in IT, there's risk in physical building, there's risk everywhere across. So I know insurance people, Baba Ogunolu and others, they think about the risk of what it is that they're trying to insure. But here he's talking about enterprise risk management. Risk management you do from January to December. And the risk management, whether you're insuring that particular thing or not insuring it, and there's a massive difference between doing risk management versus issue management. So everybody type that into AI or into Google or into ChatGPT on your phone and on your computers. But what is the difference between risk management and issue management? Because the idea behind risk management is proactive, while issue management is something that has happened and it's reactive. And organizations are encouraged to be more proactive than reactive. Once again, this is a big deal. You need to look at it. Health and safety is a major concern. People die every day because organizations are not treating health and safety appropriately. Health and safety is a big deal. There are areas of health that HR needs to be worried about in an organization. Then there's safety. Safety with regards to the use of computers, safety with regards to the chairs and that are in our offices, the tables, our office space, our toilets, the detergents that we're using. Is safety even at home? That's something else everybody can ask ChatGPT. What are the top 10 health and safety tips for my home? Everybody type that into ChatGPT and put an answer in the chat room. What are the top 10 health and safety tips for my own home? And so if the health and safety tips for your own home, what about health and safety tips for organizations? Once again, this is important. This is essential. There's no organization, well-run, well-governed organization that is going to be there into the future that should not be thinking appropriately about the use and adoption of ISO 45001 just to ensure that occupational health and safety is adequately taken care of in their organization. All right. Environment is key. I think next week, Friday, I'm going to be holding a session on the new environmental management system. There's a new version of the standard that came out last week. No, sorry, that came out last month or 2 months ago. And I'm going to be holding a session. I'm going to invite all of you. It's going to be on a Friday. In Nigeria, it's going to be a public holiday. In Ghana, it's a work day, but I'm going to invite everybody anyways. So if you get the chance, for you to join me on that particular call, we'll send the registration link to you. It's going to be a beautiful session where I'm going to be exploring the new version of the environmental management system. Things like waste management, things like green, things like the use of solar, things like even when it comes to climate change and the use of water and many other areas about the use of biodegradables and many other things that I'll be talking about on that particular day. So environment is key. Environment is a major portion of the SDGs in themselves. It's not everything about the SDG because people think that the whole of SDGs are referring to the environment. That's not true. But about a decent third of the SDGs align directly to the environment. So in reality, all of us should be environmental management experts. I'm going to move on very quickly to customer service. If your company is going to be there into the future, you have to be on top of customer service. You have to ensure that you every member, customer service is not what you give to customer service department. The CEO, the board of directors, everybody in the organization needs to be some kind of customer service expert. Everybody, with the exception of none. So there's even the gatesman should be a great customer service representative of the organization. So we're going to learn about customer service. We're going to learn about feedback. We're going to put up a framework for how customer service in itself should be done and should be driven appropriately. So this is a big deal. And if you work in an organization, automatically you have the responsibility to be a customer service advocate or champion for that particular organization. We're going to explore the ISO standard that helps us to do that. So those are the top 5 as it pertains to the business. Everybody, I've just talked about very quickly the top 5 as it pertains to the business. But I know a lot of people here, they want to be IT experts. All of you the ones who want to be IT experts, I hope and pray you end up becoming a much better IT expert than I am as a person. So somebody should say amen to that. That you get much better in IT than I am, but I've spent 20 something years doing IT. These 5 areas that I put in my areas of specialization, I can't remember the number of things that I've done and the number of organizations that I've done those things for. So we're going to look at IT service management, and I think there's no company the company is going to close down eventually. If you're not become an IT expert, you're going to have some serious trouble on your hands. So there's no organization that should not be thinking about IT and AI right now, except the company is planning to close down in a few years. If you're planning that your company is going to be there into the future, you really need to look at IT. And there's a new version of ITIL version 5. I think I have a video of something that I've done, I believe is on YouTube, around ITIL version 5, the appropriate use, the modern use of information technology and even artificial intelligence in itself. You're going to learn more about this when you show up for this particular class. But there's no organization that should not be worried about asking themselves, are we using IT appropriately? And you, that you're on this course, you're meant to be one of the people that will guide, help, support, direct an organization in terms of how they can do and how they should do IT appropriately. For immediately is information security. If you're doing IT and you're not thinking about information security, that means you're careless. That means you don't know what you're doing. Because while IT is important, it's also very important that we secure things appropriately. So there's a concept where we call CIA, all right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And I dare say in modern day, we even call it CIAP. Confidentiality, integrity, availability, and then privacy. Privacy is not a local thing. It's not a Nigerian or Ghanaian thing. It's a global thing. So you as a person who's going to you're the what's the word now? You're the expert of tomorrow. You're the one that is going to be a solution provider to organizations. You cannot be bereft of the knowledge when it comes to information security. So you must know IT on one hand, ISO 20000, but you must also know information security on the other hand, which is ISO 27001. And then another key thing is cybersecurity. People think so. Let me ask a question in the chat room. Which is the bigger bucket? Which is the umbrella? Which is bigger or wider? Is it cybersecurity or information security? Everybody in the chat room, very quickly. I want to answer that very quickly. I want to finish in 3 minutes. So, which is the bigger bucket? Is it information security or cybersecurity? Which is a subset of the other? Everybody in the chat room, quickly. Which is a subset of the other? Information security or cybersecurity? I'm going to count 1 to 10. Right, and then it tell me what exactly are the answers, right? Or which team is winning? Which is the subset of the other? Information security is information security a subset of cybersecurity, or is cybersecurity a subset of information security? Which is it? Anybody? Anybody? Ta-da! Right. Okay. So put your answers in the chat room very quickly. So I'm going to count 1 to 10 very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so what's the right answer? Right, based on the responses in the chat room, what do people say is the right answer? Which is the right answer based on the chat room? So the answer is cybersecurity is a subset of information security. Did you hear that? Information security is the bigger bucket, is the umbrella bucket. Cybersecurity is just a subset. Did you hear that? So how many people got it right? Buma, you did. How many people got it right? Right? Cybersecurity is a subset of information security. Information security is the bigger bucket. Information security is bigger, it's broader, it's wider. Boma, eat it. Nobody's saying anything.
Doc,
Hello.
10 persons say information security, and 11 says cybersecurity.
No, that's not true. So everybody, you can check. You can go to ChatGPT and check which is the bigger bucket. Information security is the bigger bucket. Cybersecurity is a subset of information security. Once again, cybersecurity is really focused on external threats. Information security is focused on both internal and external. So we're going to take you through these things. I mean, that's the idea. That's why you've come to Transformation College, so that we can truly help to transform your lives as it is. But this is a concern also. So you have information security bigger bucket concerns, but you have a specialization or a subset concern, which is cybersecurity. This is also very important. ISO 22301, business continuity. How will your business continue if your entire building goes up in flames? How will your business continue if your IT has a problem? How are your business going to continue if the human beings within your business, they have a problem, or they become unavailable for one reason or the other? How is your business going to continue if you lose your major customers? What is your business continuity plan? What is your backup policy? I did something for a bank last week. Let me look for something on my computer. I did something for a bank last week, and I showed the executives of the bank. I showed them something. I'm going to put it up just for the purposes of this session. And this is my question to them. It was a very simple question. Can you still see my screen, Edith? What do you have?
I can see
What do
the
you have?
Okay, now 5 layers of business continuity.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So I did this for a bank last week, and this is a business continuity conversation. And I was asking the board members, not even the executives, I was asking the board members, and I was saying to them, are you sure that as an organization you have tested and validated alternatives to everything that is on my screen? That are you certain that as an organization you have tested and validated alternatives in the event of some kind of emergency, a disaster, some kind of crisis situation, that you have tested alternatives to this? And they couldn't really say that they've thought through this properly from a strategy perspective, from a process perspective, from a people perspective, from a technology perspective, from a facilities and offices perspective. This is really what business continuity is about. And once again, during those sessions, we will have these conversations. Let me round this up. Last but not the least is about privacy. Okay. The idea is also that, because I mean, every country in the world is required to have a data protection and privacy framework. Data protection and privacy. Every country in the world. And I've been fortunate that at least I've worked with 10 different countries, and they all have something for data protection and privacy. Whether it's in Europe, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Kenya, all of them have, Tanzania, everybody has a country document that talks about data protection and privacy. Now, let me ask you, everybody, another question. What is the difference between data protection and privacy? Which is the bigger bucket? So everybody, let me see what you would have to say now, right? Which is the bigger bucket? Data protection or privacy? Are they the same? Which one is the subset of the other one? Data protection and privacy, which is the subset of the other? Are they the same? If we're going to say which one is the bigger bucket, well, you can ask ChatGPT, you can ask any platform as it is. Which is the bigger umbrella, the privacy or data protection? Anybody? I'm going to count 1 to 10 again. And I'm done, really. So once again, yeah, so it is you should count 1 to 10 in your mind and let me know. So once again, the idea is to ensure that over the next 10 weeks, you will cover each of these standards. The people who are going to be talking about them, they're experts, they know what it is that they're doing, they do this work for a living, and I'm certain that none of you will be disappointed. I'm hoping that by the time we finish, you would at least have the minimum amount of knowledge and skills when it comes to these 10 ISO standards. And this is very important. I promise you that this is a life-changing experience. We have testimonials. If you go on our YouTube, people have come for this course and their lives have never remained the same. My son is on this course. My wife is on this course. You can't go wrong with this particular course. I will share the slides with you. It's not a secret. The videos will be on YouTube. I would also share the slides. I'll share this particular slide and other ones as it is. So it definitely makes sense for you to pay attention to a lot of these things. whether it's the personal empowerment program, it's project management, it's business analysis, or it's the ISO standards in themselves. So finally, for me, this is a big deal, right? Once again, I think everybody should take this as almost like a life or death type situation. Like, that you really need to get this right as a person. Those are four massive areas of work that we've put together, okay, to jumpstart people. The course is tuition free. Myself, my friends, my employees, and the organizations that I superintend over are the sponsors of the program. We sponsor it internally. We sponsor it with our own monies. We sponsor it with our own time. We don't pay our trainers, or a lot of the trainers. They're either employees of my organization, or they are employees of organizations where I'm a director, or they're my friends, as it is. So we put this together, we've curated it appropriately so that it truly can be a transformational experience for everybody. And I do think that if you really pay attention to this, it would help you significantly. You give you 6 credits wherever it is that you go around the world. If they recognize the credit system in that school, or the school of a higher institution, if you're professional, ISACA, PMI, whatever it is, you would also get those credits from this particular training class. I mean, the idea is that you become a much better person in your mind, in your heart. Just, do it. It's not going to be easy. The assignments are a lot. Messi is the one that usually chases people and encourages them that please try and see this through, because what happens is that there was a year we had maybe 200 people that started at the beginning like this, and then we usually only have about half of the people who graduate, right? So this year, I'm hoping that we'll get more persons. So you need to tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your children, colleagues, your employees, tell whoever, tell your parents, right? Tell your schoolmates, whoever those people are, to join this course. They will be blessed they will thank you for joining the course in itself. We're going to give out awards this year, based on the 5 modules, including artificial intelligence. Once again, there are so many assignments and projects that you need to do, but if you pay attention to it, I promise you, you would send me communion wine or something like that when we are done, and you would really be grateful to yourself first for attending, and to whoever it is that told you or encouraged you to attend, and of course, finally, you'll be grateful to us, Transformation College, as an organization. This is important, and we're ready. We've been preparing for this. We prepare for it every year, and I'm certain it will go well. So once again, thank you everybody for attending. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you to the Transformation College team and all our friends, colleagues, and supporters from everywhere as it is. This is important to your future, and I think you should take it as such. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. My goodness, a lot has been said. A lot has been said. So let's appreciate Doctor as we gradually bring today's meeting to an end. Let's appreciate Doctor. And like I said, a lot has been said. And now for me, it is commitment time. So before I round up my session, I want to get a commitment from everyone on the call. If you will be committed to get through to the end of this program, please put in the chat room yes, just yes. If you will be committed to pull through or to go through to the end of this program, please put in the chat room yes. Okay, I hope the team, you're taking notes, because at the end of the program, we will take a roll call, okay? We're seeing all the yeses, so we're going to take a roll call at the end of the program to see those who were tenacious and determined enough to get through to the end, having said yes today. Okay, yes, let's see how many. So far, we are still 84 on the call. So if you are determined to get through to the end of the program, put in the chat room yes. This is the commitment time. Okay, and having said yes, it does not just end there. It's not just about saying yes. It is about putting in the work. Like Doctor has said, it is a whole lot of work, but it is worth it. Okay, it is worth it. So as we have started today being the introduction of it, or Doctor, you might stop sharing your screen so I can pull up my screen as well. Okay, thank you. So it is not just about saying yes, but putting in the work, the determination, and getting to the end of it. So that when it's time for graduation, we would all be here again to say, oh, we did it. And congratulations to all of us. Okay, so quickly as we round up and take the announcements, I would like to let us know that aside Transformation College, we do have the Transformation Foundation of Business and Technology, and that is the NGO arm of Transformation College. And the Transformation Foundation is established to localize all CSR activities to focus on Nigeria by assisting the government to bring quality education to especially those in underserved communities. And by doing this, we are contributing our quota to the SDG 4, which is quality education for all. And for this reason, to all business owners on the call, to all CEOs on the call, to all people who mean well for those underserved children in those children in underserved areas, we would love to have you support Transformation Foundation with your donations and assistance so that we can actually bring quality education to these students in these areas or to these children in these areas. Okay, so we are open to receive your donations. You can call us and tell us that, oh, you want to support or sponsor one student to go through our program. You want to support 2 students, 10 students, as the case may be. We need your support to be able to help as many as possible that we can help. All right, so once again, Transformation Foundation of Business and Technology is the NGO arm of Transformation College. And we hope that you will also join us in this train to help as many students as possible that we can help. Okay, so I think, Mercy, Boma, I think I'm done with my end of the discussion today. For other announcements, I would call on our amiable Mercy with the best voice, okay, to take the announcement, the best and the softest voice, to take the announcement as we gradually bring this to a successful end. Okay, so while she's coming up, I would like to encourage us, if you've not paid your commitment fee or registration fee, whichever one you call it, please do so. That is just a commitment for us to know that you are committed and really serious with this program. I mean, this program is packed. It is expensive. If you are going to go for a project management course, you're going to go for a business analysis course, or even take any of the ISO trainings. These are very expensive courses. However, you're getting it here 100% free. Okay, so pay up your registration fee, and we hope that you will turn up on time. So starting from next week, the classes will kick up by 9:30 a.m. Nigerian time. So please make sure you turn up early on time in class. Okay, make sure you turn up early on time so that you don't miss out on any aspect of it. And when the attendance form link is shared, make sure you fill out the attendance form as well. And like we've already said, make sure you take your assessments, your assignments, your tests, your exams seriously. Mercy, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I am right here.
Okay, good, good, good. All right, the floor is yours. You can take over and let's hear your announcement.
All right, thank you so much for a wonderful session. Thank you, boss, for that exciting session with you. Thank you, Missy Div. Thank you, Boma. Thank you, Mrs. Shola and I can't remember the other man's name. Thank you so much for a wonderful time. Okay, so just a quick one before we call it a day. I don't know, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. So as we come to the end of today's session, I would just like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for joining us. We know we have professionals, business people, students, everyone on the call. We just want to say a very big thank you to you. So we are delighted to have you as part of this program, and we look forward to an enriching and impactful learning experience together. So please, before you leave, please remember to fill up the attendance form link. And in the subsequent classes, we'll be having our feedback form links. Please, we implore that you fill it up so that we know how to improve and save you better. All right. So we also encourage you all to share the registration link with your friends, your colleagues, your loved ones, and whoever may be interested in joining this amazing learning opportunity. Also note that the material used for each of our classes will also be shared to you on the WhatsApp group, as well as the link to the YouTube recording of the class. So we have a mentor session that will be coming up. That should be next week, Friday, on the 12th of June, 2026. So we implore every one of you to register for that webinar. It's a mentor session, it's a mentor day. So it promises to be very, very insightful. And we have our the facilitator who will be taking us on that mentor day. All right, so to stay connected and receive updates about our programs and activities, kindly follow us on all of our social media handles. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support will help to reach and empower more learners across the globe. So we wish you a successful learning journey and encourage you to remain committed, engaged, and eager to learn with us throughout this program. So for some of you who are asking of the account number, so the details is going to be shared with all of you in the WhatsApp platform. All right. So the number to reach us on WhatsApp, I'm going to be sending the number right away in the chat room. Please, a minute, please. I'm with you, please. All right, so the number to reach us on, it's already in chat room. So you can WhatsApp chat us right there, and we'll be responding to whatever your queries are. Oh, thank you so much. Please, you can also visit our website and explore to see every of our programs, the programs that we've had in the past and the ones that we will still be unfolding. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. The recording of this session will be sent across to you in the coming week. And for some of you who have sent us your proof of payment in the mail, please expect the response from us. If not today, from next week, you will definitely get responses from us. Thank you so much once again for your time. For those of us who started with us from the very beginning, and for those who joined us along the way. We are excited to have you all on our learning community. And I bet you will have value for the time spent. Thank you so much. And from here, I will say, do have a very, very beautiful weekend, and we will see you in the next class. Bye for now.